Hey everyone, in today's video, we're diving into QGroundControl customization, specifically how to use the customization framework built into QGroundControl. We'll also show how to tailor its look and functionality to match your branding or operational needs. QGroundControl is the default open source cross-platform ground control system for drones, widely adopted by almost every non-DJI drone running PX4 or ArduPilot firmware. Known for its flexibility and adaptability, it serves as the primary interface for controlling Mavlink-compatible drones across a range of applications. While Mission Planner is perhaps its only significant alternative, QGroundControl's ease of customization sets it apart, allowing users to add branding elements like logos or modify flight screens and toolbars. In the example image, a Reese logo appears in the top left corner, alongside three customization examples found in the QGroundControl GitHub repository. QGroundControl is a cross-platform application that runs on Android, Linux, and Windows. It is built on the Qt, pronounced Qt, framework, and we use the Qt creator as our IDE to make any changes. QGroundControl works with both PX4 and ArduPilot open source flight control firmwares, making it suitable for quadcopters, rovers, tractors, VTOL aircraft, and more. The platform is especially common in Blue UAS drones, aircraft on the Defense Innovation Unit's list of NDAA-compliant systems for U.S. Department of Defense use. Many drones on that list, such as those from Teal, Inspired Flight, and Ascent, rely on QGroundControl. And it's because of QGroundControl's popularity that many people want to customize it so that it looks different for other implementations, either through branding or changing what the user can see. QGroundControl's custom build system allows for tailored versions of the ground control systems. Core plugins enable behavior changes like hiding setup panels or branding, so it's great for simplifying user experience. Custom builds let third parties create their own version of QGroundControl without forking heavily. And because everything is localized to the same folder, it also provides some degree of forward compatibility. It supports branding with your own logo and colors, allows you to hide any unused options or settings, as well as removing any DIY-focused features. Here's a quick guide to getting our environment set up on Windows. Install the Community Edition of Visual Studio 2022. Install Qt and Qt Creator. Install GStreamer for the video. And finally, clone the QGroundControl repository so we can start to make our changes. Go to visualstudio.microsoft.com. Download and install the Community Edition of Visual Studio 2022. Click on the Desktop Development with C++ option. We don't need IntelliCode or LiveShare, but we do need everything for the C++ compiler, which is the only reason we're using Visual Studio. Go to Qt.io and download the Qt installer. When asked, you need to choose a custom installation and then choose the following options. The latest version of QGroundControl will work with version 6.8.3 of Qt. Download the MSVC for your platform, i.e. ARM or 64-bit, as well as the sources and additional libraries. Under Build Tools, click on CMake and choose everything under Qt Creator. Be warned, downloading everything for Qt or Qt will take some time. Be minimalist in your choices to shorten the download time. If you're going to do anything with cameras or video, you will need to install GStreamer. Go the GStreamer README inside the QGroundControl repository and find the two packages to install. Choose the complete and not the typical installation when installing. QGroundControl has had a lot of changes in the past few months, so my recommendation would be to start from scratch, clone QGroundControl, and update the submodules. Choose Open Project in Qt Creator and select CMake lists in the top-level QGroundControl directory. Go have a coffee, as it's going to take a while to index all the files. Next, we're going to build and launch the application. Hit the hammer to build, or hit the green arrow to start the Windows version of QGroundControl. Again, go have a coffee. This is going to take a while. Say yes to whatever pop-ups appear, and if all goes well, you should see the QGroundControl window appear. Next, we're going to add a simulated drone so we can see QGroundControl in action. Click on the Q icon in the top left corner and choose Application Settings. Click on Mock Link on the left menu and then choose PX4 Vehicle. QGroundControl should now be in a ready-to-fly status. Click on the takeoff icon to get the drone moving. There are times when things just don't work as easily as we've shown. I've had issues with Qt not being able to find CMake. Errors will show up in the Issues tab on the bottom tabbed menu. You are always going to have warnings on a project as large as this, but it's the errors that will stop us going any further. If you are having problems, then click on Projects in the left menu. In Manage Kits, select the desired kit and click Configure Project. Finally, make sure the CMake tool is set if it is not detected automatically. QGroundControl has a number of customization examples in the custom example folder. So let's start there. First step is very important. You need to delete the previous build from the build folder. Change the source code view from project to file system. Find the green arrow in the image if you don't know where that lives in the IDE. Right-click on the custom example folder and rename it custom. Go have another coffee while it indexes again. Now close Qt and then reopen the project. You should now see the active project is now called Custom QGroundControl. Click on Build and go get yet another coffee. Might be a good idea to switch to decaf now. QGroundControl uses a plugin system to separate core behavior from vehicle-specific or application-specific logic. For custom builds, you can subclass 3 key-based plugins. QGroundControl Core plugin controls the overall app behavior, menus, UI mode, branding, advanced mode, and visibility of setup panels. Firmware plugin handles firmware-specific quirks, how QGroundControl communicates with PX4, ArduPilot, or other flight stacks. Autopilot plugin manages the UI and parameter logic for specific autopilot setups. By overriding these plugins in your custom build, you can tweak behavior without altering upstream QGroundControl code. Click on the green arrow to run the customized application. Create a mock drone in the application settings as before. You should see something like this image. Can you see what's changed? Okay, so here is what has changed. First, the new build assumes we're using an off-the-shelf purchased commercial vehicle. Some of the vehicle setup is hidden from the user, things that a pilot should never need to adjust on a commercial drone, as they would be set up correctly by the drone manufacturer. This provides a simpler experience to the user. The full experience continues to be available in advanced mode, which you can find by clicking on the fly view 5 times. The color palette has been changed. The QGroundControl logo has custom written over it, and the PX4 logo is now a drone code logo. We have a dummy custom action. And finally, there's a new custom instrument widget in the bottom right-hand corner. Next, let's see how these customizations were implemented. To change the logo, you need to do the following. Put your app icons and logos into the resources folder. Tell CMake where it can find the images, and finally use custom.qrc to let QGroundControl know that you want to override the default images with your new images. Put your Mac, ICO, Windows, icons, and SVG icons in the custom res icons folder. Put your logos in the custom GStreamer images folder. For example, the QGroundControl logo full.svg. Edit customs make a custom overrides CMake. To set your app icon paths, change the strings paths to your files. This updates the app title and the application installer icons on each platform. In QGroundControl v5, QGroundControl overrides UI assets through a URL interceptor and a custom.qrc file. Your custom.qrc sets an aliases that match the upstream resource names you want to replace, e.g. QGroundControl logo full.svg. The interceptor routes resource requests to your Tronic custom tutor jux and assets first, falling back to stock only if you don't provide an override. This replaced the old 4.x update qrc.py flow. Next, we change the QGroundControl colors. Look in custom src or custom plugin.cc for code to override palette entries. Here we can see how to use new hex values to replace the default QGroundControl colors. Start QGroundControl and go to the application settings to see the colors have changed from yellow to green. The customization example includes a custom QML layer at custom examples src flyview custom layer.uml. This file draws a fake attitude widget and positions it using the flyview tool insets API so they don't collide with the other controls. Let's walk through the steps that make that happen. The flyview custom layer.uml file provides a template for adding custom overlays to the flyview screen in QGroundControl. It uses the QML language to define new UI elements that display live telemetry from the active vehicle. including heading, altitude, and distance. The file leverages QGroundControl's inset system to ensure custom elements do not overlap with existing controls or critical UI areas, dynamically positioning widgets based on available screen space. By binding UI properties to vehicle data and using example widgets, this file demonstrates how developers can seamlessly integrate additional information panels or controls into the flight interface without disrupting the core user experience. The custom.qrc uses resource overrides to expose custom QML components by aliasing them under custom paths that correspond exactly to the upstream QGroundControl resource paths. Here it maps QGroundControl TARC flight display flyview custom layer QML to the custom file src flyview custom layer.qml via the alias. When QGroundControl tries loading that resource, the custom version is loaded instead. cmakelist.txt appends its custom resource files, including custom.qrc, to QGroundControl resources and builds a small custom library that QGroundControl links against. That's how the new layer and widgets become part of the app bundle. QGroundControl loads custom resources through a URL interceptor that the custom plugin registers using add_URL interceptor. This makes resources under custom take precedence over the built-in ones. There are 3 layers to the fly view from top to bottom visually. Flyview QML, this is the base layer of UI and business logic to control map and video switching. Flyview widgets overlay.qml. This layer includes all the remaining widgets for the Flyview. Flyview custom layer.qml, this is a layer you override using resource override to add your own custom layer. And finally, the compass UI pulls from images like compasspointer.svg and compassneedle.svg. We find them under custom res images, and custom.qrc exposes them a custom IMG, which the QML layer then references. So what you end up with is a custom overlay. Flyview custom layer.qml adds the compass bar, heading needle, attitude widget, labels, etc., anchored with margins derived from tool insets, so it plays nicely with built-in controls. The URL interceptor resolves custom and custom IMG resources first, so your layer and icons are used without touching upstream Flyview code. This is the supported way to customize Flyview in QGroundControl. Do not replace the heavy base flyview.qml. You should override the custom layer instead. Next, let's talk about how the custom example limits the choices a user sees in QGroundControl. Put your app icons and logos into the resources folder. Tell CMake where it can find the images, and then use custom.qrc to let QGroundControl override the default images with your new images. We'll also look at the custom tool strip action. In custom plugin.cc, the advanced UI is disabled and the user sees a more limited set of options. Custom Flyview options show multi-vehicle list, returns false, so the multi-vehicle list is hidden. Custom Flyview options show instrument panel, also returns false, because the example ships its own custom head-up display instead. The Flyview custom layer.qml file is a QML component for QGroundControl that defines a custom overlay layer for the Flyview screen. It leverages Qt-Quick modules and QGroundControl specific imports to display telemetry and navigational indicators such as a compass bar, heading indicator, and attitude widget, all dynamically positioned based on available screen real estate. The component manages various properties for vehicle state, insets, to avoid overlapping with core UI elements like toolbars and joysticks, and visual styling according to the application's theme. It uses a combination of rectangles, images, and labels to render a compass with cardinal directions, a real-time heading needle, and an attitude indicator, providing users with intuitive flight data visualization on top of the map. The QML is structured to be easily extensible for further custom widgets, demonstrating how to properly utilize insets for responsive overlay placement within QGroundControl's Flyview. There is one final change I'd like to talk about, and that's adding a custom action to the Fly tool. The file Flyview tool strip action list.qml defines a custom toolbar for the Flyview in QGroundControl. This QML component uses the tool strip action list to present a set of buttons that provide quick access to essential flight actions, such as showing the pre-flight checklist, taking off, landing, returning to launch, RTL, pausing the vehicle, and accessing additional actions. At the moment, it's just a placeholder for whatever custom action you want. Before we go, here are some links to resources that we mentioned in this video. The first is where you go to download Visual Studio. The second is for Qt, and the last is the link to the QGroundControl source, including the custom examples. I also wanted to take a second and mention that I really appreciate all the hard work the developers did on version 5 of QGroundControl and how easy it is to customize now. Hats off. If you liked our video, then there's more where that came from. Scan the code and join our newsletter to stay connected with the latest innovations from Reese.